Hello guys, welcome back to my channel to learn a new math trick. Today I'll share an idea how you can simplify fractions when you are adding or subtracting fractions. This usually works when we have only two fractions being added or subtracted, but if you have more fractions also you can extend it. Maybe in the next video I'll show you how to use this trick when you have more fractions. For now, let's see how we can add or subtract two fractions, I guess in an easier way. So let's say, for example, you have this 1 over 5 plus 2 over 7. So the traditional way is to find the lowest common denominator of 5 and 7, which is 35, and then multiply this by 7, multiply this by 5, or convert these into equivalent fractions or fractions with same denominator and then add. But one trick that you can use is you can do this cross, like multiply this 7 to this one, multiply this 5 to this 2. So you will get 1 times 7 plus 2 times 5. And then in the denominator, what you do is you just multiply the denominators. 5 times 7. And the result is 1 times 7 is 7, 2 times 5 is 10, 7 times 5 is 35. Now 7 plus 10 is 17 over 35. And the point where you need to be very careful is, do these fraction reduce? Does this fraction reduce to a smaller fraction? Like, is there any number that can divide both numerator and denominator? In this case, 17 is a prime number, so yeah, it cannot be reduced further. If you are subtracting this same thing, use the same process. So this goes here, multiplies, this goes here. 1 times 7 minus 2 times 5. Denominator is 5 times 7. 1 times 7 is a 7. 2 times 5 is a 10. Denominator is a 35. And when you subtract this, 7 minus 10 is a negative 3 divided by 35. Again, 3 is a prime number, so this cannot be reduced further, and this is the end. So this symbol at the end, I don't know what this symbol means. I just do it when my solution is finished. So yeah, just my habit. However, there can be situations like, let's do one example. Let's say 2 over 5 minus, let's do minus 1 over 10. Can we do this? Let's see. Yeah. So if you use this same trick, you will end up with, now this time I'll not show any arrows or anything. We'll end up with 2 times 10 minus 1 times 5 divided by 5 times 10. 2 times 10 is 20 minus 1 times 5 is a 5. 5 times 10 is 50. Now 20 minus 5 is a 15 over 50. And if you look here carefully, 5 goes into both. So 5 3 times is a 15. 5 10 times is a 50. And you will get 3 over 10. So the only catch, like if you were doing this the traditional way by finding the lowest common denominator, usually you would end up with this fraction directly, this in fraction. You don't have to reduce it. Usually, sometimes you have to reduce it, even you use that traditional lowest common denominator method. But if you use this method, like, the most important thing that you need to keep in mind is, in the end you have to check if you can reduce the fraction. Like in this case, this could not be reduced. In this case, this could not be reduced. But in this case, we could reduce it. So that is the only thing you have to keep in mind. Otherwise, this is a flawless method. You can use it. Usually when you have to, like, at times when you have to get the answer directly, and you have to do mental math or things like that, this should work. With enough practice, you should be able to see this process going on, and then you can get the answer. Not only with numbers, you can use this with variables also. So let's do one simple example: 5 over xy. So this is my x. Don't get confused. Let's do subtraction because people no, I have two subtractions already. So let's do a plus, and then let's keep 3 over y. So in this case, if I use the same rule, I'll not do these arrows like I did before. If I do the same thing, I'll get 5 times y plus 3 times xy divided by xy times y. And in the numerator, you have 5y plus 3xy. And in the denominator, you have xy squared. So now comes the time when you should look for reducing the fraction. So if it was number, it would be easy. You should just check like what goes into both of those numbers. But when you have variables, you have to use this trick called factorization. So in between these two terms, in between 5y and 3xy, you can see that y can be factored out and you are left with 5 plus 3x. And then in the denominator, you have xy squared. Now the idea is this y can be cancelled with this y and you will get only y. So y times y is a y square. That means you end up with 5 plus 3x over xy. Should be your answer. Yeah, you can use your traditional method and see if you get the same answer. You should get the same answer. If not, comment and I'll respond. I'll respond. Uh, yeah, this method looks absolutely fine to me on as long as you remember to simplify in the last step. So go ahead, try with a lot of other fractions. And maybe in the next video, I'll see I'll show like what to do if you have more than two fractions. Like, for example, let's say 1 over 5 plus 2 over 7, then plus 5 over xy minus 1 over 10, something like this. So can we use this method when we have more than two fractions also? I will talk about this in the next video. Thank you for watching this video until the end. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, feel free to comment on the comment section below. I'll see you next time with another video. Thank you for watching this. Have a good one.